Adventurers Guild. Take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye. I guess I'll post a...
Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
Wait, did I hear that right?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are
Neuvillette! Sabine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler and Paimon, please. No, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective?
Thank you for your concern, but I currently have no such plans. Oh, apologies. I took your question in earnest, but it now occurs to me that it was most likely in jest.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
And
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
Huh?
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today.
Thank you for understanding.
Then I shall return to my post for now. Should anyone visit while you are away, I will be sure to make a record of it. I sincerely hope that you will return soon.
Judging from Sadine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What?
I cannot tell you just yet, but there could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must...
Come on! Stop being so secretive! We still have no idea...
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to read. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine.
They must have been amazing people to...
Indeed. Unfortunately, the reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines. All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from humans. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to... Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusine. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of... It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it doesn't.
Even there's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the special security and surveillance...
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility to the political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, a lot of trouble...
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between... You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations. Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between... Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I was granted has... I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you and let's team up and round up all the
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little...
Let us go. We should visit Q...
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective. Paimon's been thinking. You called yourself a fit... But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
I never thought I'd see him.
The weather's amazing today.
Kiara.
Monsieur Neuvillette! And oh, I remember! You're the trap...
Aw, she's adorable!
Thanks for the compliment.
I heard from Sidine that you received a
threatening letter. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not...
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as
Did you think of some...
Nope. I don't remember.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it...
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch... A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intent. We can't rule out that possibility. Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais Marmonia to Kiara. You should come with us. It's safer if...
Sure! Wait, no. I still have a case to work on. I promised Alof that I'd check on her.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt...
Thank you, Traveler. Big sis Paimon.
All right. Let us go our separate ways for now.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. See you up... So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400 years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol told me I could address others based on how I feel about them. Paimon feels a lot more grown up than me, so you're a big sis.
Huh. Paimon sees. Hey, Traveler, did you hear that? Strange.
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big...
I thought so. What brings you here? Did you run into any...
It's not really trouble.
May I begin inspecting the store?
Of course.
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection.
That was quick. What were you in...
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that osmelazines have things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see there is.
All right. Now that you're done, hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my model.
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a perfect fit.
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at? Is there really someone watching us? Shh! Let's sneak over and take a look.
Strange. Why isn't he back here?
Gotcha! Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening letter.
Threat letter? What threat letter?
This is starting to feel like an interrogation.
Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Neuvillette and request an interview with him.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't...
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about?
All right, then.
What? Someone's targeting a cute...
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her? I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This secret's safe with me. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed,
Why?
people care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourselves, all right?
Well, that was a nice chat.
What do you think? The design looks...
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very...
Haran, what are you doing here? It seems that you just showed...
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillette was investigating. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Neuvillette sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillette.
Okay, then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go find Neuvillette.
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Clorande. She offered to help.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records. specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I have judged over the past decade. I have come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group that bears a grudge against me.
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents? That's a lot of reading even for—
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
Well, help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything else in this room. Have you made any progress?
We skipped through some of them, but there wasn't anything useful. Oh, there's so many documents lying around.
I would love to answer that question, but the truth is if memory serves me right, there should be at least 100,000 cases.
Whoa, that's all.
That might be how it seems from another's perspective, but trials and official duties are, to me, simply routine. There are many documents here. Take a break if you are tired.
You read Paimon's mind.
All right, let us take a break then.
Even though resting is a part of taking— all the silence is making Paimon feel—
Please pardon my lack of consideration. People rarely come to the Palais Mermonia for matters outside of work. Would you like to have some drinks, perhaps? You must be
Ooh, drinks! Thank you! Paimon wonders what Neuvillette likes to drink. Oh, maybe he's a fan of really fancy wines. He seems like the type of person who'd own an entire winery. You know, like D-Luke. What's inside these glasses? It looks just like water.
an astute observation. It is indeed water.
So it's just plain old water?
What did you think?
Since you're the Chief Justice and all, Paimon thought you'd—
This water is indeed very special. It would not be an overstatement to call it sophisticated. I believe you've already tried Fonta. In fact, there are many other drink factories in Fontaine, including those that specialize in packaging pure. Said water is sourced from all across Tevat, including Mondstadt's Cider Lake, Liyue's Chintsa Village, and Inazuma's Konda Village. Here is one of their latest products, water from Sumeru's Apam Woods. If I were to comment on their mouthfeel, the waters of Cider Lake warm the heart. The waters of Chintsa Village have a poignant touch, while one might call the waters of Konda Village placid. Distinct differences exist between the waters of each area. You will appreciate their intricacies once you taste them carefully. What do you think?
Nope. Paimon couldn't taste.
How regrettable. It seems like you still have a long way to go.
Hey, this doesn't have to do with refining our taste. Paimon's pretty sure most ordinary people can't tell the difference. Oh, could it be because you're the Hydro Dragon? We are allowed to bring that up, right? Since no one else is. Oh, Paimon's been wanting to ask this for ages. If you're the Hydro Dragon, why would you become Chief Justice in human society? Sorry. Paimon was just curious. You don't have to answer.
There's nothing to hide. I was simply organizing my thoughts. I accepted this position because I wanted to seek out answers to questions that have perplexed me.
Questions? Are there really things you can't?
Many, in fact. But the one question that puzzles me the most, in essence, I neither know why I was born in this form. For a long time, my memory was rather incomplete. With regard to the primordial sea, for example, I used to only be able to vaguely recall. Perhaps the elemental dragons of other nations may have some form of an answer. However, they are scattered across all of Teyvat, abruptly visiting.
True. Some of them have very unique personalities, too.
I have been holding on to these unanswered questions for a long time. But there is one thing I've discovered along the way. My emotions easily resonate with those of others. My guess would be that there are at least some similarities between humans and myself. By observing their behavior, perhaps I could...
Have you made any progress then?
Perhaps, but I find such progress difficult to describe. As an outsider, chances to engage in meaning... That's why I'm quite thankful for this chat. Such opportunities are rare.
Are we gonna continue reading these documents?
I wasn't able to find any leads even after browsing through most of the documents. But while we were on the topic of water...
Water? Do you mean...
That's right. The Fountain of Lucine is where all of Fontaine's waters converge. It is the vessel of countless... If there really were an organization attempting to use Melusines against me, they should also hold an intense resentment towards me. Perhaps we'll be able to find some new leads by sensing the hydro element within the fountain.
Why didn't Paimon think of...
Perhaps we should go. There shouldn't be too many people near the Fountain of Lucine during the evening.
Take it easy.
Lucky enough to fit in. The food in the cafeteria is excellent, if you're lucky enough to make it in.
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Good roll.
All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it. I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again. Maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it. I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again. Take it easy.
Shine down!
Time to go.
Let me tell you.
Ad Astra. Thank you for Ad Astra.
Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's hardly anyone around.
What should we do next? Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me. I need you to take a few...
A safe distance? Neuvillette! Whoa, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The Court of Fontaine is truly incredible. There's so many...
I understand your excitement, but there's no need to thank me. Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially suited for joining the Maréchaussée Phantom. I'm certain you'll become an indispensable part of Fontaine's detective force.
I know, but I'm really glad to be of help. Not only can I repay you for your kindness, but also,
But a meaningful life also comes with its risks.
it's definitely definitely the safest to just stay in the village. But I want to see the outside world nonetheless. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence, or what I'm capable of contributing to this world. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answers. That's what...
I understand your confusion. I too came here for an answer to my questions about...
Really? Could you... The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village. It hurt a lot when they...
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. It will be different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the... There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you, I haven't fully integrated into...
Oh, I see. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning of our existence when...
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble, I suggest that you inform Vautrin, the captain of the
Huh? Is he the person I met in the past?
Yes? Do you have...
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me when I tried talking to him.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunity.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol. A Melazine.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guards.
Please, calm down. I don't mean to cause any harm.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters. Haven't you realized?
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe Neuvillette allowed them into the court of Fontaine just like that.
Exactly. That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for investigating cases as well. I swear, there's some hidden agenda at play here.
Go away! Quit acting innocent!
I'm not leaving. I won't let you say bad stuff about him. We joined the Mare Chaussee Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette in cahoots with you? You could have So tell me, how can you guarantee that you
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Mare Chaussee Phantom, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy, and I understand your concern. However, there's been no evidence pointing towards Melazines being involved.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on their side. Neuvillette...
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah. I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that you were born from calamity, and that you inherit... There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society.
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I don't know how... I still want to try a little harder. Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time. I painted a lot of flyers last night, so I have to stay in here.
Give them to me.
You're not...
We'll hand them out together. The faster we get this done, the sooner...
Monsieur Neuvillette, what's...
Medals of Peace, awarded to you and Vautrin. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years. You've taken one small step forward in helping Melusines gain the trust of humans.
I think I'll pass.
Hey, don't say that. We wouldn't have made it this far without you. It won't be long before Melusines begin living peacefully with the humans. Just the thought of it makes...
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still a long way to go before that dream of yours comes true.
You blockhead! Don't ruin the mood!
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have placed in you is still very fragile. And please be on your guard for the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to give us...
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined.
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as he remains in his position, there's no chance he'd take us out. There are rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants to become an enemy of Fontaine. So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melusines as the person who brought them to the court of Fontaine, Neuvillette will be left with no...
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never would have come to this. But he's forced our hand.
Turn the murderer in!
Melusines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
Peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation are supporters of the old regime, whose interests have been undermined by the reform. They tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic among the people in order to make Monsieur Neuvillette confess to his The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time. Miss Carroll chose to sacrifice herself to pacify the situation.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated citizens and the guards. Miss Carroll might have...
That is indeed...
Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to Monsieur Neuvillette?
There's no need. Notify the guards to restrict public access to all information.
Restrict access to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister named Ilari. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind, always believing the best of people. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept a cold demeanor.
Looks like she was unfazed by that.
Yes. In fact, some of her spirit must have rubbed off on me instead. I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillette. They even avoided causing trouble for me. Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one thought on my mind.
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't accept...
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list of suspects. What happens after this has nothing to do with any of you. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol and settled the score with the group that framed his friend.
I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out when the trial commences.
Bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Neuvillette's most trusted subordinates. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Neuvillette's status is secure as can be. As long as we redirect public opinion, Neuvillette will be able to...
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. This represents the justice he upholds. Please, think about it. If the same thing had happened to you, wouldn't you feel the same way he... Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol. How could Vautrin be declared guilty for seeking revenge?
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, I understand your decision, which is why I cannot help but feel regret. Personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abused your authority and conducted informal execution. Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillette, please give this a little more thought. He has done—
Vautrin, my friend.
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. Why can't you just let me off? Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillette!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr.
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species...
Are you not feeling well?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seems like it still caused the emotions within the Fountain of Lucine to boil over due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected you as well.
Wow, the Hydro Dragon is more powerful than Paimon thought. Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard voices from the Fountain of Lucine. No emotions boiling over or anything.
It is as you said. This might be because I am different. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all waters in Fontaine. Rivers, lakes, and even the rain.
That sounds awesome!
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. As an outsider, having my mind occupied with which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. That does not... It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a good thing that you should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this. These two cases are much too similar.
Paimon's starting to lose track of what... Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation. Paimon...
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I discovered I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulation. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a short... However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. If I remember correctly, it seemed...
Oh! Didn't we read about that in one of the...
You've read about it? In that case, the resentment should have...
Huh? What are you doing here? I was just about to look for you at the...
Navia! Nice to you again. Is there something we...
I've heard some things. But rumors are abroad that someone's scheming against Melusines, and that you're investigating. So I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
the Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your whereabouts, there will be... You talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked around for information, then it was only a matter of time before word of the threatening letter...
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too long, but the rumors still...
You know, it could be because you attract more attention than you think. Anyway, any progress with the investigation?
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case, but it is still uncertain if there is in fact another part. We are planning to return to the Palais Mormonia to revisit some details.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina di Rosula and follow up on their progress. Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neuvillette, do you think there'll be
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the word gets out, no one would dare to harm Kiara in broad daylight. What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the old regime and direct their resentment towards the Melusines. I hope the same won't happen again. Let us...
strange? What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against a Melusine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Just...
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of hiding will keep us from finding them.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have already begun to take action. We can't think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger, how...
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any suspicious persons...
It feels like you've been following me this whole time. Did something happen?
We were informed that. Nope. We just finished our shifts and...
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the dessert shop together?
This isn't a good time to be out and about. Come on, don't act tough. I bet you're hungry too. All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals, especially if you have another shift scheduled for later.
I heard even Neuvillette's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We gotta make sure we give it all we've got.
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties if Neuvillette wasn't involved?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for years now. If something happened to them, I'd be...
That's more like it. We should stand guard until the criminal has been caught.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the special patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Isn't that Neuvillette?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is truly wonderful.
So...
No, I should stay where I am. My appearance could give rise to unnecessary commotion. Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais Mormonia. The faster we uncover the truth, the better.
Take it easy.
The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaussée. The list of involved suspects should be... found it.
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders, but who did not participate in the case. Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All other
So many names. Is the one who sent that threatening letter to Kiara on the...
Yes, there is something suspicious about Essin to be... It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case, and he moves around without much restriction.
Monsieur Neuvillette, someone claiming to be from the Spina Durasula just checked in with us. He said, and I quote, "We have located the suspect. They're chatting at the cafe."
Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only just figured out...
I too am perplexed. The cafe isn't too far from here.
Hey, Navia, we're here! Whoa. Check out all these people!
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Maréchaussée Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to...
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for...
But... Oh well, let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essin here?
Yes, that's me.
You're Essin?
Yes, monsieur.
Did you write that threatening letter to keep...
I did, but I was just following orders.
Orders from whom?
Domenico, he was my boss. I couldn't disobey his order.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves. This was...
You've done more than enough. I am extremely grateful for your...
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon...
All right then, let's head to the fortress, right?
It's Monsieur Neuvillette.
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting...
This isn't any... Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right... I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other end...
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melizy. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else?
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's...
Did I hear someone say Melizy? What happened? Sigewinne! Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her... Really?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is...
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your own...
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you, thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were the Duke, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would... But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to... Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary. Ah, and watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't...
Take it easy.
To Neuvillette?
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Take it easy.
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like... Paimon's not that thirsty, but thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up. I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about. Typical sigewinne. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite...
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea. I will...
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the
What's that?
We have a very long history. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do helping each other is our purpose.
Sounds like a pretty neat...
All we want is to, but people won't give us a hard time.
You two look kind... It's the symbol of the mutual aid net. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself. The first president of our network was an amazing person. All of us have a lot...
Interested in joining the mutual... If you'd like to learn more, here's our... Our slogan may have evolved over here. This...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
The people who wore the badges, according to them, the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained.
Oh, so the network was in... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's...
All right. Let us talk to him first.
Allow me to introduce this Fine, gentlemen. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions. Was it your idea to send that letter to... Hassan has already confessed, so there is...
That idiot!
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send... Who is pulling your string?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, but I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines?
My initial target was Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to but the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and force it to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with...
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal...
Yes.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society. But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our...
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them when people refuse to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right... People no longer have any reservations about you, and even consider right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words,
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
I am undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been... It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower, far...
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says you're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would...
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the...
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay?
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too... While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted...
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico.
I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore...
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the...
Yep. Neuvillette thought their badges looked familiar.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every...
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice. And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very... That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say? Now's your chance.
I don't have anything to say. Well then, let us head back.
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. Hey,
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what...
That is indeed a As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, these changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but I will try to contemplate this further.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's...
At the Palais Mermonia. More than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within the bushes to look out for danger. I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy. So I asked her to stay inside the palace.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled. To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Neuvillette.
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month. Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communiqué to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all. Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter.
Sorry,
You're safe
I
now.
accidentally fell asleep. Thank you, Monsieur, and thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me.
Do you remember Domenico? He was...
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. Where's she gone, by the way? In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, I can't remember what our dreams were anymore. And I don't know why. But
I can sense your joy. It is indeed...
Monsieur Neuvillette. Are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed to? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course.
See you next time, Monsieur Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.